What's up? It's Dkirks.
And it's Doty.
Doty, time of recording. Tiger Woods just got in a car accident.
Man, it's sick to my stomach. You see how bad his car was?
Yeah, it was looked brutal. I hope he could be a dad again. That's what I hope. He just live a life, be a dad.
Be able to walk. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Very, very sad. I mean, hell of a golfer, but to your point, yeah, if you can just be a dad, that'd be great. But on a lighter note, how dope is our logo?
Just unbelievable. Everybody loves the cartoon characters. I mean, I think it just makes us look a lot more official than we really are.
I mean, I thought I looked good now, but as a cartoon, I'm going to has to be a cartoon no matter what I post or where I go.
I know, he just nailed it.
Shout out to Jeff Lampy. He is kind of the man behind the creative, and I think it looks fantastic. Kirk, you think it looks fantastic?
Yeah, Jeff, thanks for all your work. Thanks for being a homie, man.
Might be the only thing that Kirk and I agree on is how cool our logo looks.
100%. Another thing, day we recorded this, Kinderpod dropped. Getting a lot of love from our homies, from people that we know, don't know. What do you think?
A lot of love. And it's being noticed, and to see how many downloads and then retweets and then comments, it's like, wow. Yeah, we might have like some decent followers, but we might have even more decent friends, and it shows, and it's awesome. I mean, I got something from UConn Sports Marketing Instagram handle. I graduated 8 years ago, and I mean, they're near and dear to my heart, but for them to kind of shout out and post it on their stuff is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when we started this that we genuinely thought how many people would listen to this, maybe our close friends, and to just get some love and some validation that what we're doing is kind of legit. So
I was talking to a friend earlier today, and it's like, yeah, it's really awesome. And it's just authentic and relatable and really interesting. And I was like telling her, saying how much it's blown up just in this week. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Did not realize that was going to happen. But
so on today's podcast, we have Trace Buzz Tinkle.
Yeah, and with Buzz, he just got off of a 138 to 107 win last night over the 76ers G-League team. He's currently in the G-League bubble down in Florida. Trace went to Oregon State, played for the men's basketball squad there, standing at 6'7", born in Montana. After 5 years at Oregon State, he had tons of accolades. If you want to check it out either on his wiki page or on the Oregon State men's basketball page. But the biggest thing that I took away from that is that he's the all-time leading scorer in Oregon State history, passing Gary Payton.
Yeah, it's big time. And obviously he's the little brother of our good friend Jocelyn, and I'm excited to talk to Trace and have everybody listen to it. So let's get into it.
Let's go. Let's do it. Hey, Trace, welcome to the show. Or should we call you Buzz?
Buzz works. Yeah,
Buzz?
I like that.
I like that too. Cool.
Family Buzz. Trace, what are you sipping on?
I got this lower sugar G2 Gatorade.
Such an athlete.
So, yeah, right.
Athlete.
When you drink so many of them, you got to watch the sugar intake.
You asking for a sponsorship?
Maybe. Throwing a hint in there.
Dkirk, what are you sipping on?
I got some Clutch coffee. What do you got?
That's weird. So do I. Got a nice mug.
Shout out Clutch Coffee Bar.
Shout it out. So good. Power up. Trace, you gotta get on that.
I'm there. When I'm back home, I'm definitely hitting you guys up. Or might have to get a little care package. Got a Keurig in here, or my neighbor actually has like his own little coffee press. So we'll get it on that Clutch Coffee for sure.
We'll get our buddies at Clutch Coffee to send you some coffee.
Perfect.
I think I have your address. Down in Atlanta.
We'll send it to you.
All right, perfect. So before each show, we like to kind of go deep on that first question and want to know if you remember your first ever Instagram post.
Oh, no. I think I probably deleted those for the embarrassment. You know, I would read the captions and it was like me and friends, me at lake, you know, just so I just cringe every time I look back. So I think I deleted all my ones from maybe senior year of high school, freshman year, just to, you know, save my image a little bit. But if I had to pick, it might be, you know, probably me in high school in some weird costume for Spirit Week, or I don't know, doing something I probably shouldn't have been.
No, it's actually the best. It's you and your mom. You're wishing her like Happy Mother's Day or something like that.
Oh, is that me hugging her?
Yeah, you seem like you seem like a big hugger.
So, yeah, that's
because Mother's Day hugging your mom, and then I think you're hugging somebody else, and then Father's Day you're hugging your dad. Which is great.
Runs in the family. Now, Big Mom was boy, but I think that one I kept that one, but that probably was, you know, not one of the ones that I deleted. So I think right now, it's definitely the first one I have.
It's a good one.
Trace, how does it feel to be the 5th best basketball player in your immediate family?
Who's better? I gotta hear these.
Wayne, Lisa, Jaws, Ellie, everybody.
I mean, I think Doty can back me up on this one. I'm sure you can too. You've seen, you know, my sisters play.
Dude, your sister drops 30-footers. Jaws could drop 30-footers. Ellie's got shackles.
I've actually played pickup with both of them, and we're no longer allowed to be on the same team.
Yeah, I believe
Just
it.
pick and pop every time.
And
we don't rebound.
Rebound, yeah. I don't. Jocelyn, the defense with Ellie and Jocelyn, that went out the window as soon as they left college. But I hear from everybody else, Jocelyn, oh my God, Jocelyn had 40. Jocelyn's texting me, I just hit 7 threes. I go to a game and I see her have 3 air balls. I'm like, okay, I'm hearing all these big stat lines, but where are they at?
Just yelling at her teammates to give her the ball constantly in the post.
No, she's trying to fix her bow.
Exactly, yeah. I got
Joss,
one video I went to. The Tinkle bow or whatever she called it.
Oh, it's amazing. We've been bickering about that before.
Yeah. I remember one of their city league games, Jocelyn got a rebound, went 1-on-4, like they tried to trap her and goes coast to coast for a layup. And Ellie's in the corner just, you know, standing and waiting for her pass, but you know, she's not passing that thing. She's not giving it up. But I mean, if you ask who's the best, you're gonna get 5 different answers. That's just, you know, how our family operates, how competitive we are. We're not going to give one another gratification and saying they're the best. So going to have to say myself, but ask anybody else, they're going to say themselves as well.
I think that's fair with all 5 being D1 basketball players.
Exactly. Well, Mom's in the Hall of Fame, so I might have to say her. You know, she's the only one in the Hall of Fame right now. So she has the lead.
So Trace, explain to us about your high school recruiting process, because it's kind of unique. Your dad wasn't quite at Oregon State, right? Like he got hired at Oregon State maybe right after your senior year, or just what did that look like?
Yeah, it was the spring of my junior year. And so I had, you know, like that summer going into your senior year, that's kind of the biggest tournament. You know, I went to a lot of big camps and I felt like I was really getting my name out there and my game as well. But at that point, my dad already had the Oregon State job, and, you know, everyone just kind of thought it was a wrap playing for your dad in the Pac-12. Coaches that had been recruiting me basically stopped and pushed me towards him. So I didn't really have much of a recruiting process until or after that point, just because, you know, like I said, at that level, playing for your dad, it's just so special. And, you know, the kid in me was like, wait, you know, I still want to be recruited. I want to see, you know, what schools were going to, you know, reach out to me. But at the end of the day, you know, I definitely would have chose him. I didn't want to waste anybody's time. And even if he was at Montana, you know, I think it'd be really hard to say no to. So once my dad got the job at Oregon State, you know, the only school that kept recruiting was Utah. And, you know, I think that's just because we have close family ties with Coach Rostowiak. Obviously, my dad coached with Matt Montana, played with him. But obviously, you know, I can't go to a different Pac-12 school and play against my dad. So really my decision was made for me. I was obviously upset, I think, when it happened, but long haul, it all worked out. And, you know, I'm happy I made the choice I did.
I mean, you had a hell of a career.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun. Some ups and downs, but I think right now, my dad and I's relationship is, stronger than it's ever been. So, he's helped me achieve, all I did. And then he's helping me now to this day, to get me where I want to go. So
what was it like playing for your dad? I'm friends with one of your assistant coach, Tyler Kopp. I'm not a Beaver fan. First of all, I love the Ducks, but
Go Beavs.
There's a lot of rumors out there. It's like daddy ball, but you see the stats that you put up, you watch you play, how hard you play, you watch how hard the Beavers play in general. I have a hard time with anybody saying that, but what's it like playing for your dad? Was he harder on you than everybody else?
100%. I think that's, if you've been around him, that's not his personality, his style to one sugarcoat or, give anything to anybody. We have his favorite saying plastered all over our locker room that says, earn, not given. And that's just how he raised me and my sisters. But obviously, that's just going to come with it. People are always going to have something to say, daddy's ball, but they don't know what's going on behind closed doors, in the gym at night, early morning. So if you're part of our team and our group, they know the truth. But early on, it was tough, without a doubt. I always joke and I say I got kicked out of practice within the first week because, I was just still trying to figure out how to fit in, probably not trying to step on any toes of the new guys, still trying to learn. And I passed up a handful of open shots and he kicked me out of practice, said, don't come back until you're confident to shoot the ball, be aggressive. And I was also scared. And I've never really had my dad coach me like that, just because he was always busy at Montana. And people would say, are you sure you can play for your dad? He's pretty, old school and he's tough. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I've been around him, not bad. And yeah, again, that first week is just like, oh, who is this guy? This is a monster. I've not seen the side of him. Mom was always the disciplinary growing up because he was always gone. And then you'd only see that side of my dad if you really got in trouble. So, it didn't really come around a lot. But, when I got to school, I just had some growing up to do. 18, 19 years old, just playing against 23-year-olds, guys with experience. And then just trying to figure out how to differentiate between father, son, coach, player. So the first 2 years was just kind of, finding that balance. And again, he was always harder on me. I feel like I would do something really good. And, I think you always just want that reassurance that you're making your parents proud, which obviously now I can say I think I was, but just always kind of getting that reassurance from himself, just is some relief. And that's just something that he wouldn't really give to me. There's, times where I'd be up for these preseason awards and, we'd go home to dinner and my mom's like, Wayne, did you see, Trace is up for this? And he's like, yep. And I was like, I'm proud of you, son, anything like that. But I think that just really what made me, the mental toughness, part of my game. And obviously, I know he was, but there's always a method to his madness. And I think that's really just something I had to learn, that he's going to push me towards my goals. He knew what it takes he knew what it took because he played at this level, played professionally, has the experience over me. And so, that's really what it is. And then, we had times where I was like, I don't want you to be easy on me, but, you're congratulating the players as well. So, I would like, a little pat on the back, time to time to know I'm doing well also. And he understood that he needed to be a little more, can't treat me any different than his guys. If I do something well, he's going to, tell me so, just like he does everyone else. But after that, my last 2.5 years, it was so fun just to go to, practice every single day with him and BS and, get in a plane and, fly, team to team, city to city with him. It's been great. And then just really this last year, me living at home before getting down to the bubble, like I said, our relationship is better than it's ever been. able to bond a lot more playing cribbage, golf. So I'm really happy with where we're at, and we can look back at, these past 5 years we had together were, truly worth it.
It's awesome that you just mentioned golf, because we'll definitely tap into that later.
Love it.
So we got your accolades down. We know that you were a stud, leading scorer, beating Gary Payton. But it was a unique year this year, last year, where it was cut short. Were you ejected? Was your last game when you got ejected for the elbow?
No, it wasn't my last game. Thankfully.
Okay, good. Because my last game, I got a flagrant foul for an elbow to a face. But okay,
really?
I'm glad to hear. Yeah.
We're feisty. That's what it is.
We're tough. Yeah.
But no, that was, probably a couple games back. But yeah, definitely got ejected. Never even had a technical in my college career, and my first one, I get thrown out of a game, which was crazy. And
well, it's funny, the post game interviews, even the other coach, Arizona coach,
Sean
Miller, really well known. I should probably know that. Even said that in a normal setting, it wouldn't have been a flagrant. So anyway.
No, yeah, that was great to hear from him. I don't think he had to do that, and he really stuck up for me. It's just saying, I know the character of that kid. That's not how I wanted him to go out, playing here. So, I really appreciate the words coming from him. And yeah, I think it was BS, but when you replay it 20 times in front of 20,000 fans,
you're going to have
it a lot worse.
You're going to have haters, just like how the haters go after our banter, but whatever.
Exactly. But, I think it gives me a little street cred. So, I think that it's a win-win. No such thing as bad publicity. But, yeah, the season also got cut short too, which was unfortunate.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit more, about how the season was cut short and kind of what that process was like, coming off the court for the last time, playing for your dad. You had some really, we said you were a hugger, joking earlier, but yeah, like every single person from your dad, coaching staff, players, all the way down to the student managers just embraced you. Kind of talk about how your college career ended.
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, you try to look back and try to see the positives and the silver lining. Everything kind of happens for a reason, all that. But, during the time, it was bad. All that I feel like I've gone through in my college career, just to kind of leave it like unfinished like that was a tough pill to swallow. I think we were having a lot of momentum. We won our last 2 home games, had a great comeback win, first round tournament. So, we were feeling good, playing our best basketball. And then, we were going to play Oregon, in-state rival. There's going to be just a ton of energy there. And I think the night before, we saw like the Ivy League cancel their tournament. And so obviously we were all just kind of talking, thinking, then they might cancel ours next. Or, people were putting out March Madness to be played with no fans. And so everyone just kind of assumed we're just kind of waiting on it. So we woke up the next morning, had breakfast. I think we had like a noon game, and, went back to our room for a little bit, and we got a text saying, hey, let's meet as a team in, our team room in 20 minutes. And at that point, we're like, yeah, it's coming. Here it is. And, we didn't really know the severity of it or the severity of COVID at the time. We're like, why can't we play? This is BS. I think that's just more coming from the competitive nature and wanting to finish the season when it was so close. But it just, so abrupt. We were thinking that we might come back in a week when everything cools down, because we didn't think it was going to be a year and a half long thing. But it was tough just because it felt like you're playing your best basketball. Always saying, why this got happened my last year. But I think the best that we took out of it is, only one team normally comes out with the win. And so we were able to finish our season on a win, and a hell of a win at that. I think down 13 or so. We showed just, resilience in that game. And, it's definitely a fun game to go out on for sure.
It's really, really good mindset. That's a really good point.
Yeah, you were obviously in Vegas. Do you remember like the last thing, your dad, I'm going to say your dad, but head coach, said to the team?
Yeah, like I said, we were in the team room. Coaches kind of went around, and, he just kept it, very real with us. Just said, this sucks. I feel for you guys. I hurt for you guys. My dad, he's a player's coach. he's been through it. You know, he wants more from you than just what you give on the court. You know, he wants to turn you into a better man moving forward, better husband, better son, just, you know, all of that. That's just how he coaches his programs. And, you know, so he was very real with us, you know, got emotional. You know, I think just with me being in there, knowing that was kind of our last go at it the night before, we didn't know it stopped. You know, I definitely had tears coming down my eyes. But we, you know, we all had a good embrace as a team, knowing, you know, what we've done, what we did. And then, you know, he just, you know, he's not going to make it about me. He said, you know, let's come back and win this thing next year. You know, he's always on to the next. You know, we can't dwell on it. We can only focus on, you know, what's next. So, you know, he was, you know, positive with us, but obviously understood guys like myself, Kyler Kelly, the two seniors, you know, just how bad of a feeling it really was, knowing that that's how our season ended. But, you know, we had a lot of support from our friends and family, so it made it easier for sure.
So the draft is normally in June, right? Is that when
Yeah.
the draft normally is?
Yeah.
What were you told about the draft? Like right at the end of the season, you know, I don't mean necessarily for you being drafted. I mean, were you told right away, like, hey, the draft is going to be on, you know, June 1st or by like June 20th or something?
Because that had to be like a whirlwind of like your season ended early. You guys are on track of doing really well going into the tournament. And then now you're like, okay, now good luck. You got to go find an agent. You got to figure out when the draft is. You got to worry about when the combine is. You got to find somewhere to work out, even though everything's shut down. Like, yeah, what was that like? Like that process I feel like that span of 2 months must have been like hell.
Oh, it was terrible, you know, especially like those first 2 months, because there was so much unsaid, unknown. Obviously, you know, everything. We didn't know the NBA restart, how long that was going to take, if they were going to have a restart. You know, I think if they would have canceled the season, everything would have been on schedule, but they wanted to, you know, finish it out. So that, you know, that's what pushed everything back. And so, you know, you kind of find out like week by week, every 2 weeks, an update. You know, once I picked an agent, you know, I did that pretty quick just to get rid of that pressure of, you know, people trying to sell themselves to you. Just picked a good one and went with it. And, you know, they're just very unsure themselves. You know, teams want to play, some teams don't. You know, where are they going to go for a restart? And, you know, you just have to wait with the COVID case to see what was going on. And it just seemed like every month they got pushed back. You know, I think at first it was, all right, you know, they're thinking about the draft end of June. Oh, no, now they're going to, I think, probably make it middle of July, you know. And then, you know, I think they're pretty set on having it like early September. And then once that came around, no. And then they had a date, I think it was like October 15th. Or, you know, somewhere around there. And I remember I was in LA working out and my agent got a text saying that it's going to get moved back another month. So it was like every time we got close, it just kept, you know, getting postponed, and ended up being November 18th, I think. But yeah, it was stressful just because, you know, the season ended the way it did, and now I was just kind of ready for the next thing. And it was just, everything shut down. You know, there's so much unsure with what's going on in the NBA. And so just, you know, it was like one thing after another, just kept, you know, avalanching of problems. So early on, you know, I was really frustrated just because I was like, why me? You know, why is this happening now? And then I just kind of got to a point, I was like, whatever, you know, I'm going to be in the gym. I'm going to be ready. You know, whenever it takes place, I'm going to make sure I didn't skip a beat. So early on, yeah, it was frustrating just knowing like nothing. But I just, you know, I did my part to, you know, stay in shape and, you know, keep my game sharp.
So you mentioned you picked a agent early. What was that process like? How did, you know, I think everybody, you know, us mere mortals, we just think like, oh yeah, he's got an agent. Yeah. How does that even come about? It's not like you had a handler. Your dad's obviously a collegiate coach, so he can't, you know, get
Well,
into
yeah, because so just for our listeners who aren't familiar kind of with the process, the NCAA kind of has you handcuffed because when you are playing NCAA sports, you can't talk to agents, you can't talk to boosters, you can't make a deal until the very last whistle of your last game. So it's not like you have anything lined up and ready to go. You literally have a clean slate. And then you're like, okay, now let's have those conversations. What should I look for? What? Right. And it's kind of like, now what? So yeah. So what was your experience like?
I think to start it off, a handful of years ago, they started this testing the waters. I think I did that after my junior year where you can go work out for teams, and if you don't get the feedback you like, you can go back to school. So that's one thing I think NBA or NCAA implemented was just to, get guys the right feedback, and used to not be able to do that with an agent. And then it wasn't until probably the last 3 or 4 years you can actually sign with an agent to do this draft process, just to kind of get a better grasp. They still have a bunch of rules that, you must follow, or you can face suspension or, missing games, get in trouble, all that stuff. But they're just trying to help the player more and more, kind of navigate the process. And so the first year I tried to go into, test the water, get workouts. I hired an agent, just to if you can do it, might as well, just to get as many resources as possible. But then I think there's a date that you have to pull your name out of, and I think it's like May 29th. And so obviously I decided I was going to come back to school. And then, you have to stop all your communication with agents. But the normal, agency process for the following year, you'll have guys that are messaging you on Instagram. Hey, I'm an agent for this company. Love your game. Would love to stay in touch. So you have people reaching out to you, I guess, depending on where you go to school, your numbers, et cetera. Obviously, some agencies are better than others. Or, some guys want to go to a smaller agency and kind of be the focus point. Just really kind of depends on your personal fit and what you want. But I had probably about 6 or 8 agents reaching out to me. And then I narrowed it down to about 4 that, I felt like I really trusted and I liked, and went from there.
It's almost like the recruiting process all over again.
Yeah, without a doubt, and you find some you like, and you find some that are just like, oh my God, man, like, can you please not text me? And the frustrating thing with me was just like, my dad's always like, don't talk to Trace, talk to me. Cause he's like, I don't want these agents to just kind of be blowing you up on the season. And, you're worried about the NBA instead of finishing out at OSU. And so, the ones that really respected my dad and would text me maybe a good game every once in a while, those are the ones that, were my finalists. The ones that would text me every single day, like we're, best friends, when my dad asked them not to. Because that just, you get tired of it. It's like, man, I'm tired. I got class. I got homework. I don't want to, talk basketball or, what I'm going to do next year, because I don't know yet. So, some would, follow my dad and, just talk to him. Others would, try to get buddy with me. But, those ones, obviously, I didn't go with. And I respect my dad's, what he sees in people. I feel like he's a great gauge and, what someone's like, if they're, believable, if they have a good resume, or, if they're telling you straight up, or they're sugarcoating things. And so we came to one that he said he really liked. He feels like he's a straight shooter, and when I liked too. So, it really worked out. But just because of my dad's experience and him going through the same thing, I respect his opinion more than anybody's.
With Wasserman, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to dig too deep into this, but like, there's so much unknown out there. Where do you train? Did your agent connect you with like a trainer in like LA that you're working out with? You normally see those. There's no NBA summer league. Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so that was the tough thing. LA was obviously like the worst place to be for a long time during this pandemic. So like everything was closed down there. And Wasserman in a normal year, they work out of, I think, Santa Monica High School, and that's where the whole pre-draft process takes place. But, obviously, like I said, with LA being in the situation it was, Santa Monica wasn't letting anybody in to use their facilities. And so Wasserman didn't really no state had anybody do anything unless it was, all under wraps. But, I don't think they work that way. They want to abide by, the law and regulations. Because I had friends who were, I think doing pre-draft in Florida because everything was basically open. So really just depended on where the company was based out of. And obviously, like I said, with Wasserman in California, there wasn't much I could do. But, that's when I went down to LA for about a week when I thought that the draft was going to be in October, just to get some good workouts in with their trainers, with their guys. And that's when I was down there. They canceled it or they moved it back a month. And so my agent was like, just, you don't have to be down here. If you're getting good workouts up home, go ahead and just stay there. So I really just spent all my time at OSU working out with Coach Rupp, Tyler Kopp.
Shout out Tyler Kopp.
Shout out Tyler Kopp. That's right. So yeah, I had a great setup. I was able to lift at the school, use the gym whenever. And then one of my neighbors actually gave me a key to his own CrossFit gym. And so, I probably had a better situation than most of the kids in the process. And then, I was able to stay close to home and get some family time. So I can't ask for any more than that.
There you go. Taking advantage while you can.
Right.
Man, just one curveball after the next. That's frustrating. Like, I can't even tell you like the mindset that you'd be in. But we'll fast forward. Now you're in the G-League bubble. We'll skip through all the other curveballs and whatnot. But now you're in the G-League bubble with the Raptors. Which, by the way, great game last night. You're shooting 75% from the floor. You get 20 points in 28 minutes. Like, that's big time. So
appreciate it.
Paying off.
That's right.
And you womped the blue coats. So anyway,
yeah.
Awesome seeing that. But talk to us a little bit about that process. So where were you when you got the call that you're going to be with the Raptors 905, which is the Toronto Raptors G-League team? Kind of what that process was like. You worked hard, you were training all summer. We can talk about the draft and what that is, but I think just let's get into kind of like that experience now and where you are. So
yeah, I think you said it best with just, one curveball after another. I just, at this point, I feel like that's just kind of been my entire life story with basketball, my journey. I feel like I've always had adversity come. And, I think just the person I am and, who my family made me to be is to just, keep overcoming them, keep pushing it, not to, as cliche as it sounds, but, never give up. Every single obstacle that's in my way, I've faced it. And, my drive to get through it, has, I think, got me to where I'm at and where I want to go. But yeah, to start off, actually, I was, after the draft, went undrafted, very upset with that, but then signed with the Lakers. And so I went down to LA just because I was going to do training camp with them. And I was there for, I think, like 3 days quarantining, getting tested. And then the night before camp started, I got a call from my agent saying, either players or, staff members, this is what they told us. I don't know if it's the absolute truth or what. I also got a call from like the assistant general manager, saying the same thing. They have guys test positive for COVID. They're shortening their list to who they're allowing in the gym. And so I think they cut it to like the 5 staff members, obviously they're guaranteed guys they had from the years past, and one athletic trainer, and so they sent, I think, 3 or 4 of us rookies home. And during like that 2 week of like December 1st to December 17th, we're kind of waiting to see if the Lakers would bring us back. You know, their head coach kept saying, you know, our guys don't want to play preseason right now. We just came off of a championship. You know, we really wish we had our Exhibit 10 guys, you know, just to kind of give some run. And, you know, that's the whole reason, you know, my agent and I picked LA is because he thought there was going to be a lot of opportunity because they're veteran guys that, you know, don't want to play because their season just ended. So there was going to be, you know, chance for me to get minutes early on. So we just thought it was the best fit. So, you know, it went south and went back home to work out. And, you know, I think they had like 2 roster spots available, a two-way available. And then worst comes to worst, if you don't, you know, make any of those, you just get assigned to their G-League team. And so I was, just seeing if they're going to bring us back. And then eventually they said, you know, we're not bringing them back. And we're also not going to have a G-League team this year. And so I was really had nothing to do. And then, you know, that's when we, you know, got a call from the Raptors saying, you know, we'll sign him and then we'll just waive him to the G-League team. Just obviously because I didn't get to go to training camp with them. Training camp was over. And so, I got a call. I was actually doing sprints with my sisters in Milwaukee on a football field, and just got that call.
Doesn't do sprints.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've never seen Jocelyn do sprints. Come on, get out of here.
She does. She doesn't, but she actually did this one with us. Jocelyn's more of a long distance runner, but we did do.
I heard she's a
couple sprints. She's a big spin girl now for sure. And so we were all together, and you know, I was, you know, I can't say I was not upset at the opportunity, but just more upset like Lakers aren't having a season, man. It's like, when is something going to go right for me? You know, I was very fortunate for the opportunity I was given from the Raptors, especially knowing, you know, what they've done with G-League players. You know, I think they won Organization of the Year last year for, you know, how many guys they put into the NBA that went through their G-League program. So, you know, they're very involved, and, you know, they have a lot of pride in, you know, what they do to get guys the best looks. And so I was happy I was finally on the team. I knew they're a team that was going to participate in the G-League bubble because I think 12 teams opted out. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, this G-League season is really more competitive than it's ever been. You know, there's less jobs. So they really took, you know, the best guys for this thing. And, you know, I was happy to be a part of where I feel like one of the best organizations, one of the best teams coming into this. And, you know, so I'm very thankful for the Raptors giving me this opportunity. And, you know, we're off to a good start here. Early on, you know, like I said, we had a great team, wasn't getting much burn, you know, the first few games, you know, but, you know, talk to my family, just saying, hey, just, you know, stay ready. You know, it's not an ability thing. It's just, you know, just wait for your time, wait for your opportunity, stay ready, stay positive. And, you know, that's what I did, you know, just prepared every single night like I was going to go play, you know, 35, 40 minutes.
And beat the Ducks.
Beat the Ducks, that's right. And, you know, that just kind of my mindset. You know, I didn't change anything. I was still waking up, doing ball handling, you know, keeping myself fresh and mentally ready to go for, you know, whenever that my time might be. And, you know, we had some guys go down with injury, unfortunately. And then also playing 15 games in 25 days, you know, when you're trying to win a championship like that, you're going to have to give some guys some rest. And, you know, I think the first game when I finally was able to get in there and show what I could do playing, I think 27 minutes it was, I think the coach just fell in love with, you know, how hard I played, the toughness. I talked about, you know, diving on the floor for loose balls, just trying to play winning basketball. And, you know, that led to, you know, playing 28 minutes the next game. And, you know, once you're out on the court and, you know, you have, you know, that opportunity and you have the coach's trust, so much confidence just automatically kicks in. And so, you know, that's just kind of one thing I'm just hanging my hat on, is just trying to be the hardest worker, doing all the little things, you know. We obviously have a team full of score, so it's just what can I do to put the team in the best position to win, whether it's, like I said, you know, taking charges, you know, knocking down open shots, being an aggressive cutter if that's going to get me open, or, you know, draw the defense in and, you know, kick into another shooter. But I think he just fell in love with me doing all the little things And, like I said, when preparation meets opportunity, you're going to succeed. And, just never shied away from, my consistent effort.
Earn, not given, right? Like your dad said. Earn.
That's right.
No, that's a knowledge bomb right there.
Yeah. Right, so give us some details about the G-League bubble. I mean, I think we didn't see a lot of the NBA bubble, but, we kind of saw some, guys on their Instagram feeds. Are you guys staying in the same hotels? You guys getting fed kind of the same stuff? You got all the free time? Like, Trace, you golfing? Like, what do we got here in the G-League?
You have your own barber there? You guys getting tatted up? Or what's the deal?
Pretty much, yeah. All, hit the nail on the head right there. I think we're actually probably in a better situation. We had some guys who were with some NBA teams last year in the restart, and they said, man, like this setup's way nicer than what we had. And I think they just probably learned through, trial and error, what worked, what the players probably wish would have been different. Like I think earlier, like last year on the restart, everyone was complaining about the meals they were getting. And I got here and, I'm not picky. And I was like, oh man, this is good. Like I'm eating for free. But everyone also said that the meals improved. So it wasn't just me, they said that, yeah, this is way better than what we were eating at the restart. So again, I think it just comes through, trial and error. They saw what was good. They had more time to prepare. They knew what to expect. And so, things are running, very smoothly. Like I said, the food's good. You're able to still call Uber Eats if you want something different. Care package gets sent to you.
Golfing.
Unfortunately, that's the one thing that we don't have access to. I don't know if it's just maybe because it's a shorter season or what, but
super short. How short is the season?
25 days.
25 days.
Yeah.
So it is quick. We're staying at the same place, really nice hotel. We're able to fish, ping pong. There's a players lounge. There's an open bar, guys can get a bottle of wine after a big win or, something like that. So, no, they're treating us well. I feel like I'm fairly independent myself and kind of introverted. So, I have no problem kind of going to, workouts, games and come back and, you're watching TV, watching my dad's games. Probably read more in the past year than my entire life. But it's been fun. There's a pool, music playing everywhere. It's a good experience. It's like you're living and you're eating for free. So haven't spent a dime yet. So, I can't complain about that.
Have you been doing any magic while you're down there?
Yeah.
Magic?
The magic.
You bring your magic set?
I know a couple of card tricks, and I try to actually show, I think, one of our equipment managers, and he wasn't really too thrilled. So I just kind of crushed my dreams.
Keep it going. You practiced so much when you're a kid, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably told you about what my magic thumbs I had. Did that come up?
Jocelyn just texted us, ask him about magic. He always wanted to show us magic tricks when he was younger.
Yeah, I loved I had these little like light up red thumbs I'd put on, and you'd click one, it'd light up, and you act like you're throwing it, catching it behind someone's ear. But I was like 8 years old, and these thumbs like stuck out like 4 inches, and so probably wasn't too smooth. But I love card tricks. I have a handful of card tricks that I can do, but I definitely should get back on that. It's fun.
So
good time.
I have a couple of funny stories because, we end with the golf question here. I don't want you to self-incriminate yourself.
I was about to say, I already know what you're about to say.
Well, so just a little backstory on this. I've heard it before twice now, but
I'm going to pour myself a glass of wine for this.
Doty, your sister Jocelyn, Kendra, and I were at Bandon earlier this year, and you're like FaceTiming your sister for like 3 holes. And you had to bring the story up because we were playing 17 at Pacific. So don't incriminate yourself here, but can you give us a little rundown of that story? Because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. By the way, I'm healthy. Was just, little 99 holes in 2.5 days. That's all it was. It was it was strange. You know, I think it was from the season. I don't really even know what I did. I didn't roll my ankle or anything like that, but I just woke up one morning and I had like this really sore muscle in my calf that kind of went down, like not my Achilles, like the side of my ankle. And like it didn't bother me for about 2 months, and then like I think it was maybe end of May or something. My dad and I went to Bandon, and we were walking, and I don't know if it was just getting sore, tightening up from so much like extra. I think it was like it was our second 36, our second 18 on the day.
Yeah, it's brutal on the lower legs, man. Like,
oh, absolutely,
and lower back.
Man, so
from experience,
yeah, just
the ground is like super firm. Yeah,
you're up, climbing,
up and down, like it's hard on your calves. Like your soleus just locks up.
I mean, when you're just getting birdies and pars too, I mean that's just so much mental energy and fatigue.
The celebration stuff,
right? And so I tee up on 17. We have 2 holes left, and I take a swing, and I just I go down. I'm just I don't know what it was. I just
sniper.
I probably hit like a 200-yard 9-iron or something. Just so much force into it. No, I'm kidding, but just my ankle just didn't even twist, but it was like that same pain, and it would lock up, and I could not move it, and it was just like the most sharp, intense thing I've ever felt. And it just came out of nowhere. And I'm just, sitting on the tee box, just holding my calf. I'm like, I can't get up, and I try to walk, and it just, it was locked. It hurt. It was painful. And my dad, he hits a shot onto the green, and he's like, bro, I'm playing so good right now. I got to finish. And here I'm like, I can't move. I'm thinking, what the hell just happened to my calf? I'm freaking out, and he's worried about going to get a birdie, which to his I'll gas him up a little bit, but yeah, he had like 100. The greens at Pacific, they're huge. He had like a 130-foot birdie.
Wow!
And so yeah, he hit that, and then he went to play 18 by himself, and they came back like 20 minutes later. He probably had a couple beers in the pro shop before he came and got me on the tee box. But yeah, I'm just sitting there, talking to the caddy. I'm like, he probably thinks like, what an idiot. This kid, like, how do you get hurt golf in your
ahead
swing,
of the NBA draft?
Yeah. And we were so weird. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play tomorrow. He's like, bro, we have to. So like, felt like back in college, I was icing my ankle all night, getting the PT because I had, a 7 a.m. tee time.
Doing the ABCs with your feet.
So was the next day, all good? Like you didn't, like it was back to normal, right?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It's like
it's a freak accident. Weird little
5 minutes where it's just like kind of painful and it goes away. But yeah, the next day it felt fine. But I'm just like strolling in on this golf cart, and everyone's looking at me and they're like, "Oh, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, you got hurt swinging a golf club for whatever reason." It just looked like he got like his leg shot off, and yeah, it was kind of an embarrassing story, but Bandon was.
So for our listeners though who don't know what Bandon Dunes is, Google it. Look at those courses. Yeah, they'll see the hills and the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you played how many holes in how many days?
99 in 2.5 days. I think it was. We ended up walking.
And you walk
39 miles. Yeah,
and
39 miles.
It's not like you sit in a golf cart and you drive around and you have
exactly.
No.
The sad thing is, I'm sure you guys stuck out like a sore thumb. You are not a small human. Your dad is definitely not a small human.
Right.
It's a small town on the Oregon coast. They're all Beaver fans down there. They knew who you were, and here's like Trace needing a golf cart to come pick him up.
Yeah, and my dad's not waiting for me because he has to go finish the round.
Tough love, right? It goes all back.
Exactly.
Tough love.
He's like, hey, hope you're all right, Trace. No, I'm gonna go finish.
But I just love that you were like FaceTiming me when we were playing to tell me that story again. I thought it was so funny.
Well, Justin's I'm gonna go get a hole-in-one on this par 3.
Yeah, shank.
Remember those videos? I held it. Sorry, Jaws. We love you.
The more we banter about you is the more we love you.
Trace, I got one question. We're going to jump into some competitive banter here. Why is golf the greatest game on earth?
Oh, I don't know if I can say that. I'll say it's one of them. But I love golf just one because it's from basketball. It's a little more coming off that story. I was going to say it's like a little less harsh on your body, but I had a pretty serious golf injury, so I don't know if I can really say that. But no, I think it's good just because it tests your mental, part of your game, just staying sharp. You let one bad shot affect you, and you have a terrible next 3 holes. So I think it's just great for the mental aspect of not just golf, but basketball. You can figure out how to just kind of keep your cool, and same thing with basketball. Well, I feel like one of my biggest problems is when I miss a shot, I too hard on myself. I think that's where something like golf can teach you some valuable lessons of just next swing, next play, next shot mentality. It's so challenging. There's just so many different types of shots, clubs, factors that go in with it. So it's definitely a strategic game that you really have to pay attention to. And I'm not even someone that I think golf's a ton to get better, but just I think me putting more effort into the shot I was going to shoot before I just kind of go up and hit the ball. But the more you pay attention to it, those things kind of build. And again, it just kind of, I think it really is the most mental testing sport out there, to be honest. So I will say that about golf, because it tests your patience and your anger for sure.
You're just out there trying to hit bombs, Trace.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Okay.
Yo, let's get into some competitive banter.
Yeah, you want to give us?
Let's do it.
You want to give us the overview here?
You got it, Dkirks. You're the pro.
All right, Trace. We're gonna snake draft it. You're gonna go first, then Doty, then me. I'll get 3, 4. Then we'll come back. Then you'll get 2 in a row. And we'll come back to me. Best cereals all time. And
number 1.
Yeah, your number 1 pick.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with number 1 pick. Okay, I'm gonna go Frosted Flakes with number 1. I feel like that's a pretty sound number 1. It's nothing crazy, but it gets the job done for sure.
You just like Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, I was
because the actual cereal's not that good, but their marketing.
No, what? No, I love the cereal. I love Frosted Flakes. I can eat off like 3 bowls.
I mean, I like Frosted Flakes too, but worthy of the overall number 1? No way.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Tony the Tiger, and then being on the front of it as like a great athlete, only reasons why I would consider buying it, let alone eating it.
Okay, let's see what you guys gotta say.
Okay, cool.
I was gonna say something like really sugary, but
I mean, Frosted Flakes isn't really sugary. Come on, Trace.
I know.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, but okay, you guys put me on the spot at number 1. That draft pick right there.
Well,
that's
we've
a bust.
learned manners are important. So yeah, we have to make sure our guests go.
Doty, what do you got?
Right.
No, I guess Daniel just found his manners because he's letting me go next. So thank you, Kirk. Number 1, hands down, Cocoa Puffs.
No, this is a no.
I think
a cereal.
Frosted Flakes ahead of it.
What? You have a cereal and then you have chocolate milk after to enjoy it.
I'm not debating that. I like Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, not number 1, but yeah, you know what? I do love the chocolate milk afterwards.
The chocolate milk after.
Yeah, that's good.
I'd more go with like Cocoa Pebbles over Cocoa Puffs, but
okay, I'm starting to.
Or even like the Reese's version, right? Like
that's too much.
Like okay, well, too much. This might be too much, but this should have been overall number 1. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like, you kidding me? Like,
yeah, okay.
All, I don't know how they get the toast out of that, but that's just like little cinnamon goodness. Those things
make them look like toast.
So
Kirk, they don't. It's not actual toast.
I mean, like one of those small boxes doesn't even stand a chance. Like that's just like a big.
You're probably the type of guy that like after it was all done, you'd put the box to your face and get all the rest of that cinnamon.
No, no, that's not me.
Those are great with milk and without milk. So that is definitely not underrated, but I wish I would have put a little more thought, or maybe had some extra time to
extra time.
Some answers for.
You had plenty of time.
If you would have said like, something first, I would have been like, okay, I know where we're navigating. These types of cereal. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, so this one might as well be candy, but. My 4th pick, my 2nd pick 4th overall pick in this draft. Lucky Charms. Really
Lucky
like
Charms.
those.
Yeah. Okay. But that's like just the marshmallows, though. You know, it's like
Yeah.
And the other kind.
I mean,
you need just
if they
like
got rid of all the
Charms.
other little Cheerio things, man, like
Yeah.
it'd be solid
Yeah.
gold, but it basically might as well be marshmallow cereal.
Exactly.
There's a trivia question out there, which I used to know, but I don't know anymore, about how many marshmallows are actually in a Lucky Charms box.
Not very many.
It's like 200, I think.
Yeah, there's not that many.
Yeah. The ratio is like, I think like 1 to 3 or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
Solid choice.
What do you got, Doty? Back down to you.
My number 2 is Captain Crunch. Going with the Captain. A little peanut butter.
Okay.
I like the different flavors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cinnamon's like, but
I'll
yeah,
let
Captain
you take
Crunch.
the Captain Crunch. That's good. But I mean, that probably should have been ahead of Cocoa Puffs. Definitely should have been ahead of Frosted Flakes. But...
Definitely should have been ahead of Frosted Flakes.
I got the dark horse right here. But I'm upset because one of my choices was actually just about to be Captain Crunch berries. So I don't know
I don't like mixing the peanut butter taste with I don't like mixing the different tastes. Like
really?
if I want berries, I'll eat berries. If I want peanut butter, I'll eat peanut butter. But
all right, Trace, you get 2 in a row here. What do you got?
Okay. Shoot, this is I'm trying to think here. I'm gonna say for one of them, honeycombs.
Okay.
Loved honeycombs when I was a kid.
Like consistently, like do you like honey? Like would you have it like every morning for breakfast?
Oh, I love honey. Yeah, I loved honeycombs.
Huh.
I think they're like just the right amount of like sweetness, you know, like
So
they're
what's the
not
difference between
overpowering.
honeycombs and like what's the Cheerios?
Honey Nut Cheerios, like
Honey Nut
same type of deal, kind of, just a little bit like
different texture.
Yeah,
like a little
Oh, it's
softer.
a texture. All right.
And then I might say Fruity Pebbles. I love Fruity Pebbles when I was a kid too.
That's okay.
I was
That's
waiting for that one to come up.
Trace. So, dude, like your entire draft order should have been flipped.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right?
Oh, that's true.
That's
It's about the entire like body of work, not just the first draft, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that in mind moving forward because I got roasted on a few of my other banters from when I started.
Offspring, unbelievable. Okay, Doty, what do you got?
Ended with Britney Spears, so I ended up being fine. My last one is Golden Grams.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, that's solid.
That's a solid. Nothing too special.
I think Frosted Flakes is maybe a little ahead of that, but I like.
Difference is that was her 3rd round pick.
Exactly. I did not finish strong. I usually go best.
Okay, so I might get roasted for this. You guys could tell me on the socials, but it's like one when you really want something. When they get really soggy, it's like the best. Checks.
Oh,
checks.
No, like cinnamon checks at least. That's all I'm gonna say. Can you have like cinnamon checks at least or something?
I mean, checks, bro. Like, look at me. I obviously know how to eat. I just like checks now. But those
if you knew how to eat, then you would have chosen like.
I mean, I got a
Cookie
wide
Crisp.
list here.
Cookie Crisp. Yeah.
How about
also the only time that I think I've ever had checks was when I made them for a dessert,
like a Chex Mix thing?
Called puppy chow.
Puppy
chow.
chow.
Like, you ever had puppy chow? Yeah, you have the chocolate, the peanut butter, and the powdered sugar.
So I wanted to say this, but I don't know how many people have ever had them. They used to have Rice Krispie Treat cereal. Like when I was, have you had that before?
Right, they were like it snap, crackle, pop in your mouth.
No, they were like the Rice Krispie
Actual,
treats,
like
but in
actually
cereal. Yeah,
Oh.
It was like the box was like metallic. Yeah, we didn't. My mom hated it if we got those. But Trace, man, thanks for being on the pod.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. This was fun and definitely my highlight of my day and my week at the bubble.
Oh, good. Yeah, good luck with the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll be able to get a round of golf together when you get back to Oregon.
No doubt.
I'm sure we'll do that. All right, man. We'll cheers it, and we'll talk to you later.
Oh, good. Cheers.
All right. See ya.